Well, guys, they cut me. I had a feeling they were going to, so I had this backup ready. Let's see if I get cut again. Um, that was fast. I didn't even really say much, did I? Holy crap! Everything I said's NewsGuard verified too. That was nuts. That's the fastest they've ever kicked me off alive before, bro. Let me make sure my chat's on here. Boom. Yeah, I guess there was two people on according to this. Dude, leave me alone. There's a raccoon outside. And she wants that fucking raccoon. Here, you want some water? Anyway, I guess that just kind of proved my point, didn't it? They cut me. I'm glad I had this backup ready for this situation exactly. So, on to what I was saying. They have been going after Christians and Catholics. Oh, the other person left. Oh well. They've been going after Christians. They've been going after Catholics. There's a preacher right now, if y'all don't know about him, and a priest that are actually incarcerated for not shutting their churches down during the pandemic. And they're being held just like political prisoners. A lot of people are. There are a lot of people that were arrested during coronavirus that are being held as political prisoners, basically, that have not been released and have not been given their bond and any of those things. So, yeah, that sucks. And remember, the people from January 6th, our brothers and sisters, are still political prisoners as well. It sucks. They've been in solitary confinement this whole time. Horrible conditions. Yeah, why aren't we going and getting them? Why aren't a bunch of people coming with us to get them? So, but back on to Jesus is awesome and the FBI are asshole. And this is a subject that's near and dear to my heart because I don't talk to a lot of people about it, but I have been raided by the FBI 19, 20 times at this point for speaking out at school board meetings and county meetings and city meetings and all kinds of other places, doing rallies and shit like that. And it's getting a little worse here lately. That's why I'm making all these videos, because as soon as I turn this off, it just posts itself anyway. But like I said, they were here again tonight. They're going to keep messing with me. It's getting worse, as you can see by all the videos I'm posting. Oh, I've just today started posting all of the police videos in order from the cop's body cam to my cam to the cop's body cam to my cam on Rumble at Berserker Patriot 1776. So if you want to see all the body cam footage and all of my footage from the night the officers entered the building without a warrant, then it'll all be on there. And it gives it a lot more context, because the very first video I recorded was actually explaining exactly what was about to happen for 5 minutes. And then they pulled in and it happened. So that gives the context of, it explains the story of what actually is going on. And if you watch the other videos as well, you'll see that one of the sergeants from Indian River came up, admits that he just turned around and all of a sudden his officers were fucking gone. And my sergeant from this county walks up, doesn't know that that guy's body cam is on, and he says, oh yeah, that's our local 20. We've interacted with him out here 20 to 30 times since the hurricane. Keep in mind the hurricane was only a week prior from this. So that's like 3 to 4 times a day that they harassed me and bothered me. And the reason they had to is because they refused to respond next door at Wawa, which was the only store in this entire town that was open for a solid week. There were 9-hour gas lines. There were people pulling guns in the parking lots. There were people trying to rob tankers and shit over there in the middle of the night when they come to drop off the gas. because Wawa owns its own gas company and they have a federal contract with FEMA, if people don't know. Wawa has a federal contract with the federal government. So if you eat at Wawa a lot, remember that. They have a federal contract with our government. So, yeah, that's fun. But anyway, there was a bunch of dumb shit going on. So, me and some of the people from my militia, we were doing security. We went down and we spoke to the National Guard, which the boys in Florida, National Guard, SHOT Troop, you dudes are fucking awesome. They follow the Constitution to the letter. They defended citizens in our county that the cops were screwing with because they lost everything and had nowhere to go. Just so you know, there was a curfew enacted, an ordinance, and the cops would arrest people for being broke down on the side of the road because they couldn't get gas because there was only one gas station in town, and there was literally a line miles long. It was a 9-hour day just to get into the gas station, and there were still people in line every single day for a solid 3 weeks. Remember, we were out of power for 3 weeks here. Okay, a lot of stuff happened. In the video, the cops say there was rampant looting. No, all the looting happened a week before that night. It was all done. None of it had been happening because we had been dealing with it. As the citizens, we dealt with our community after the hurricane. Law enforcement left us hanging. Okay, it sucked. It really sucked. But we learned what would happen in an emergency situation with our law enforcement in this town. And we learned that they'll back tyrants from a completely different place, which is almost 100 miles away from here, by the way. Part of the contract for them doing the partnership with Charlotte County was if they have to go on somebody's property, they need to have a Charlotte County officer with them. As you can hear in the video, I say explicitly, I need you to get a Charlotte County officer here. They refused. I had to hang up my video and physically call Charlotte County to come to my property and help me. But that officer still gaslighted me. I proved my point numerous times. You can hear the officer say 4 different times why he's on my property, so he kept changing his story. It was all different the whole time, and it was stupid. You know, it was just stupid. Shouldn't have happened. Not for someone that's feeding these people. Man, you don't fuck with the people that gave you your food. I never thought about that until just now. It's way too late though, isn't it? But you don't fuck with the person that's buying you pallets full of food, brother. You know? So you don't have to eat MREs while you're out here. But, yeah. Back to the FBI visiting me again. This is going to keep happening as long as I keep speaking out and as long as I keep getting out of here in my community. Every day I'm out here with a flag waving, making noise. You've seen my truck. You know what it looks like. You know, I'll walk around my truck one more time since some of you might not know what my truck looks like. That's my trailer. Can you flip this stupid camera around? Of course I can. There we go. And I've had this stuff on the truck, you know, for 5.5 years. It'll all stay on my truck. There's no light out here, but you get the drift of it. Everybody's seen my truck some way or another. Yeah, it's a piece of shit, but it wasn't before all this started. It surely wasn't a piece of shit before all this started. I've had 2 landscape trailers burnt to the ground. I've had my Trump store caught on fire. I've had my skid steer burnt to the ground. I've had my windows smashed out. My truck's, that's why my truck's all dinged up and smashed up. They fucked my stuff up. That's why my windows are all busted out. They vandalized my stuff. But I'm not going to stop. The more you fuck with me, the more I'm going to put on my truck. The louder I'm going to be, the more noise I'm going to make. Because if I can offend a liberal for the day, I'm happy. Because, boy howdy, did anyone see my video of the liberal that was so butthurt of my truck? He was screaming at the cops in his car. He demanded they come arrest me immediately and have my truck removed from the road. That's only happened like a handful of times in the town that I live in. But we have a lot of stupid kids here. And you can't do anything to a fucking kid when they come up and do stupid shit to you, because they're kids. You know what I mean? Like 15, 14. And that shit sucks. You just gotta walk off. You can't let yourself get involved with that, guys. That's what we're trying to stop. That's what we're trying to stop, is them hurting our children. And that's the problem we have right now in America, is nobody gives you, clearly you don't give a shit about your children, because you're still letting them go to these indoctrination camps. You're still letting all this bullcrap happen. That's the future of our world. Okay? Do you want your kids speaking Chinese and Russian, or do you want your kids speaking English? Do you want your kids living in America with the Constitution, where every citizen's armed and no other country has the balls to try to fly a balloon over our country, which should have been an act of war, plain and simple. They flew over our nuclear sites, our intercontinental ballistic sites. Should have been war, plain and simple. Okay? An act of war, sorry. Should have been considered an act of war, and we should have responded in kind. You know who would have responded in kind, right? Donald J. Trump would have responded in kind. Let that shit happen. Oh, but a lot of you don't know, there's another balloon right now outside of Alaska, right? Heading this direction. Oh, but they're not going to give a fuck about that. Now they're keeping an eye. You know, the FBI, they can watch you take a shit in a porta potty with a satellite, and they can tell you where you are at all times, and they can track you down at your brother's house that's 30 miles away from where you live, and nobody knows your brother even lives in the state, and find you there in the middle of the day. But they couldn't see a fucking Chinese spy balloon the size of 3 school buses in the sky for a week. Everybody needs to stop being gaslighted. I'm not saying go out here and start destroying shit and start being violent, but I am saying, patriots, MAGA, savage motherfuckers, get out here and make a noise so loud in real life, not here. I'm not doing anything by doing this, you know, not on here. In real life, get out here with your fellow citizens in your community. Have a barbecue. Get together, get to know each other at least. That way you know that you have people that you can trust around you at all times. At all times. Get out here. Go to the beach with people. Go to the beach and just start talking to people. Go to the parks and start talking to people. Set up a speaker and say, hey, brothers and sisters, come speak with me. Let's figure out how we can keep our community safe. Let's figure out how we can better our community and the place that we live in, because that's what we have control of and that's where we are. Okay? Because we're not going to change the world, but if we can change one person that can change another person that can change another person, then hey, that's how you do it. You know? You don't help someone a little bit, you help them enough to where they can help somebody, and then they help somebody, and get it? If we all love each other, there's no more hate, and if everybody helps everybody, nobody needs anything, get it? You know, don't take that out of context. I'm not saying give people free shit, because I don't believe in that. I like to work for everything I get, but I'd like to be able to get enough work from people that have already made it in life, so I can hire a bunch of people, and then maybe one day 2 or 3 of my employees start a company where they can hire a bunch of people, and we can all teach each other how to do things and learn how to coincide with each other once again in life. Remember when we used to be able to have debate classes and agree to disagree? I'd be ashamed to go in and see what a debate class in high school is now. What the fuck? They just cry at each other the whole time? I don't get it. Our military does not prioritize combat any longer in soldiers training. They prioritize equity and equality. What the fuck does that mean? No, seriously, I want someone to explain, what the fuck does that actually mean? Equality and equity. Equality. Life's not equal. Life's not fair. How do you get equality in a world that's unfair? It's not possible. You can't do it. Okay? And you can't just take all of my money to give this person something when they're not gonna fucking work for it. Because then, if they're not working for it, then they have no money for you to take from them, right? Are you gonna take from me to give to them, to take from them to give to somebody else? It doesn't work. But we can work, all of us. We have hands, we have feet, We can do something. You guys bitched and bitched and bitched. Now you got $15 an hour and you don't want to fucking work. You can go flip a fucking hamburger and make as much money as a dude out here digging a ditch. And you still don't want to go to work. I don't get it. Do you understand that you can make $1,200 a week going and working at McDonald's now? Man, I would have never imagined that as a kid. Talk about $15 minimum wage, having problems paying your rent. We've always had problems paying our rent, sugar pie. Always. Always. Everybody. You know, you act like all these rich people are the majority of the world, and they're not. We are. We're the majority of the world. There's just a few that made it. I'm not mad at them. I wish I could make it like that. I'm not mad at them. You know, that's awesome. And guess what? I've worked for a lot of them. I made a lot of money off of them. You just have to wake up and understand that that college that's indoctrinating you is doing nothing for your life. That gender studies degree, when you can go to your local high school now and go to the trade school and actually learn how to do something and go out immediately and make $500,000 a year. Easy. Do you know you can go buy a lawnmower, a weed eater, and a blower and learn how to mow yards really well and make $1 million a year. And within 6 years, you can have it to where you're not doing a fucking thing. Everybody else is doing the work for you. 6 years. Understand that. You can make yourself a millionaire in 6 years with a lawnmower and a weed eater. You know, it's pretty simple. But I'm not going to keep going on about, you know, commonsensical things that everybody should know right off the rip anyway, because I didn't go out and make $1 million. Well, I mean, in my lifetime, God, I've made 20 times that, but I'm not still sitting on a fat stack because I fucked up and I made mistakes and I'm a human being. And yeah, so I finally got the laptop working, as you can see at first. So we're going to make sure that I'm able to stay live on that this Monday, because I'm putting an ad out for the whole weekend. So we should have some people on here. And not everybody stayed on, but a few people watched tonight. I realized that this little number up here, bud, doesn't represent how many have seen you for the night. It represents just who's on here right now. So if it says 2, there could have been 7. Because when I got off last night, 30 people actually watched this last night. And that's okay with me. I don't mind reaching 30 people. I don't mind reaching 1 person. So, thank you, Jesus. It's been a good day. We all woke up. We're all still here. And thank you to the few people that watched tonight for my second live in 2.5 years. I hope that the things I've explained can give a little more context of why I am now 100% just a piece of shit when cops fuck with me. Because I don't go out looking for problems with them. They actually come on my property and mess with my stuff simply because me and a few like-minded people want to make sure that our community is safe and the children in our community are safe. It's a sad day in the world when cops get pissed off at citizens that want to protect the children of their community. That's a sad day, because that's what they should be wanting to do. And they should be getting, I'm going to give all of you law enforcement on the planet some advice right now from a lonely piece of shit, nothing, nobody, sinner through and through, because I'm human. I have to ask for forgiveness every single day, sometimes 5 to 20 times a day, sometimes 100 times a day, because my TBI doesn't allow me to stop what my mouth says. That's why I just say whatever, and that's why I speak to those cops in whatever way I want to, because I can't stop myself, guys. So if I'm a little vulgar, I do apologize, but I can't stop it. So I'm not going to apologize any more than that. You know, maybe once a video I'm going to let you know, hey, if I'm a little vulgar, that just fucking sucks, bro. If I offend people, you're welcome. And I'm getting stories together. I'm not liking what's on social media right now because they're all talking about stupid shit that has to do with Hollywood, and I don't give a fuck about Hollywood when we're on the verge of World War III and people can't eat, and eggs are getting smuggled from other countries like drugs because they're so expensive now. What the fuck? Don't you know you can go buy a few chickens for like $24, bro, and then you can have eggs for the rest of your life for free? Do you know how many eggs you get from 10 chickens? If you have a family of 4 or 5, you'll have plenty of eggs and you'll give some away. Some mornings we go in, when we just had 5 chickens, we'd go in and we'd have 40 or 50 fucking eggs, man. We'd be like, holy crap. And then we had 52 chickens and it's like, oh my God, we can feed the whole neighborhood, you know? So don't complain about eggs, just go get some chickens. It's legal to have them wherever you are. As long as you have a small pen, you don't have a rooster, you can normally have a chicken even in the city. Go get you some chickens. Then when we run out of chicken, you get you a rooster before we run out of chicken. Then you'll always have meat. So, you know, guys, I love you all. I hope you're blessed. Like I said, hopefully they won't cut me off within the first 5 minutes of my video on Monday. And I won't have to do my live on a cell phone walking around. And I had a whole setup and things ready on the computer, and as you can see, they cut me off immediately because I was talking about the FBI and what they're doing, and I was talking about being a Christian. That's all I even said. I talked about being a Christian, and I talked about how the FBI, and it's common knowledge, they banned me for posting the FBI videos. I mean, everybody knows that this happened to me. So you can go through my past history and find all this stuff, find my meetings that I speak out. I'm reposting everything on this channel now that I'm allowed back on live and allowed back on here. I do not have an editor this time because he got scared off during the whole election thing with people attacking us all the time and shit like that. Which you wouldn't think would happen in the little hick town I live in, but you'd be surprised how far this stuff spreads. When your governor tells everybody to come here because they want to flee their city, well then everybody comes here. Because I've never seen so many. Do you know, I thought people from Canada were nice. Are you fucking kidding? These idiots come down from Ontario, Canada here, but in droves, by the hundreds. Every other tag's an Ontario, Canada tag. And then they talk shit about my Trump truck. And they talk shit about DeSantis. I talk shit about DeSantis. A lot of things he does I don't like. He's a politician. Okay, they're all politicians. I don't like any of them. But the leading cause of death in your country is euthanasia, assisted suicide. And they just passed a law where minors can get themselves killed without parental consent. So don't come to Florida, to my country, because you're not even from our country, and bitch when you live in a literal communist shithole. Yes, I get that we do too, but we're in the beginning of communism. They haven't banned all of our shit yet. Even though the Supreme Court did side with California's gun ban today. So, look that up. That's a thing that happened. Glad I started off track on that so I can mention that. The Supreme Court is unfortunately siding with a lot of stuff that they should not be siding with right now. So it sucks that they're the last resort court in your state, right? Because you can't just do a direct case with them. You have to be appealing a civil case, because I would just take my things that I've got going on, because the state attorney is ignoring me, and so is the prosecuting attorney and internal affairs and all this stuff, because I'm a nobody. They know. All the lawyers I've spoken to want a fucking huge amount of cheddar up front, and I'm like, holy shit, bro, I can't come up with 50 grand right out of my asshole, you know what I mean? I can make payments, but I can't come up with 50 grand out of my ass. But we'll get something done about this stuff that's happening. We just have to be prepared. We can't sit here and stress about it every day of what's going on. We have to be prepared and come together and help each other and our communities. And when I say that, I don't mean go out just giving people shit. I don't mean just go out on being a missionary. Always go out and speak truth, obviously. But I'm saying, get together. Go to church. Meet people. Speak. Spread truth with each other. Help these demonic grace churches that are out here right now that are accepting things that is the opposite of their religion. I'm trying to get an interview with the Catholic priest right now that I spoke to in the Wawa parking lot yesterday. That'd be pretty cool. Because he was like way more, how should I say, savage about the issues that we think about than I thought they would be. But yeah, they're very on board with everything we're on board with. And I don't know if they'll allow me to get them on camera because they're representing the Catholic Church, but it'd be pretty cool if they did. I got a few other interviews that are coming up. I'm going to be going to doing some county meetings this coming week. Is this next Tuesday or Thursday? I'll have to look at the calendar again. They're trying to pass an ordinance here against the Second Amendment in our city of Punta Gorda for the second time now. Like literally telling people they can't conceal carry anywhere in the city, which is an absolute violation of the Second Amendment. So we're going to go handle that and all kinds of other stuff coming up. It's trumping season, baby. And you know how I get during this season. We're going to have big, huge lines of trucks with flags on them. We're going to do all kinds of crazy shit. We're going to make a lot of noise. Everybody is going to know about it. We're going to put up billboard. We still have the Joe and the Ho billboard outside of town up. We got to put up a couple more billboards around the town. We got one coming out for our liberal sheriff that been in need of BLM, and while they were here, you know, glorified them as heroes. So we got a billboard going up before 24 so people understand that happened, and that's a thing. And that 2 officers got fired for asking the militias to come and the patriots and help push back peaceful protesters that came with a pallet full of bricks in the back of their truck. Because, you know, they were clearly going to repave our roads as they were walking down them for us. You know, with a pallet of fucking cinder blocks. You motherfuckers, a peaceful protest. Dude, you can't even lift the cinder block. Why the fuck should you bring a pallet of cinder blocks? But that lasted for about 15 minutes in my county. We had them going. Once they called us and we got out there, those little cowards didn't know what to do with a bunch of rednecks pulling up in there. But anyway, it's funny because they tried to have this abortion thing out here too, and nobody from our side showed up. So I was there with one other kid that I know that's come to a few of my rallies and I've met a few times. He's really young and very vibrant about the way he does things. So it was a good time, you know. I went out there with my body armor on just to fuck with the idiots with the pink hair, fucking smearing. Dude, you can't make this shit up either. It had bags, Ziploc baggies full of human feces and period blood in 101 degree weather, smearing that stuff all over themselves. It's like, holy fuck, bro. What's wrong with these people? This is what they're glorifying in America. Rubbing feces and period blood on yourself. Pretending that you're a woman when you're a dude. Because, I'm sorry, but it is not fair for a grown-ass man to compete against a woman in sports. It's just not fair. It's not. You know? It's not. Like, look at the runner. I posted a video about this on my Rumble. Berserker Patriot 1776 on Rumble. I'm posting videos all night long as we speak. I get a couple loading. I'm posting all the officers' videos because there's actually 12 videos, and everybody's only watching one of them, and they're not getting any of the context. One of the videos that I took was actually 5 to 10 minutes before the officers pulled in, where I was telling you exactly what was about to happen, and boom, it happened. You know, and the officer that was actually harassing me before they came here, and the only reason this happened is because they were out-of-town officers. 2 of them I had interacted with twice that evening somewhere else, and one of them was the one that came on my property the night before, and that's the one you hear me say, Motherfucker, you know me. He said, oh, I don't know you. I'm like, no, you know me, dude. You know me. We had a problem here just last night. And they were told to leave then. But they did this to me so many times in 1 week, it's not even funny. They were bored. They weren't responding to crimes. So like, hey, we'll go fuck with Josh, man. Now, I do know 2 or 3 officers in my town, literally 2 or 3, that I'll back every day, you know. Now, if I'm walking down the road and I see somebody jump out of their car and start beating the shit out of a cop, I'm going to help them. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to help them. It's just in my nature. I'll just naturally get out and help. Not the person beating the cop getting beaten. I will help stop the situation. But I'm not just going to brutally let somebody beat somebody. We're not at that point yet. You know, we're not at that point. What I think would be a good idea is if we just had, in every county like mine, a big fucking boxing ring in the middle of the town. And when cops do something like this, the citizen they did it to should be able to have the option to take that cop into that fucking boxing ring. You can put some gloves on and you can do your thing, or a UFC ring or whatever. And if they beat your ass, then you were an idiot that let it that it happened to. You know what I mean? And it's done. That dude just whooped your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever, man. Because a lot of these officers are cowards and they're hiding behind that. It's not even a piece of tin or a piece of metal anymore. It's like a plastic, aluminum fucking thing. Some fucking very light thing. But anyway, these aren't law enforcement officers anymore, just so you know. These are brown shirts. That's who these guys are at this point in time. These are brown shirts. But I guess I'm 32 minutes in tonight. It's a Friday night. I've got some things to do. I've got videos to upload on other social media sites because, as you saw, I did get booted off my first 5 minutes into this video. So I got to make sure I have backups in other places. And I've only got this backup here. But I have 2 Berserker Patriot Store channels. But they're the same channel, but they're separate channels because I separate it by a little space in the word. So that's why I couldn't just switch over to this one. I had to start a new live. But they're the same channel, basically. And I also have the Berserker News channel, which only has 11 subscribers because I don't even know what I've posted on there, honestly. But yeah, we'll get more stuff going, guys. Get better and better as we go. I'll be doing some training videos as well, which will give people good context because these videos do get posted just as soon as I finish them. So once I finish this video, it's going to get posted to YouTube just the same. So you can just check it out anytime you want to. I've noticed a few people have popped on tonight. It doesn't exactly tell me on the cell phone. In case you're just getting on and you haven't been on here earlier, but they took off already. YouTube popped me off. Anyway, Jake, have a good night, buddy. Be safe. I'll be out over the weekend selling some different odd and end things. If you want to stop out and bullshit for a little bit, brother. Everybody have a good night. How do I... For the person popping in, we're heading out for the night. YouTube's cut me off a couple times tonight. They cut me off my first 5 minutes into the video for talking about the FBI, so I've put out a long-winded rant tonight, but I love you guys. I hope you're all very blessed. Remember, the most important thing is to unite, get together with everybody in your community. If anything else, you have community togetherness. You know what I mean? Everybody's not sitting at home watching one of these to talk to each other. We can all come together, have rallies, have barbecues, go to the beach, whatever, man. Be prepared for what's going on. Remember, if you want to see Steven Crowder, go to Morning Mug Club. Check him out. Stop Big Con. Shit's going on with James O'Keefe is nuts. It's really stupid. So I guess Project Veritas is probably going to be over pretty soon. Yeah, love you guys. I'm trying to figure out how to shut this damn thing down. It's not giving me an option to close live for some reason. So, I'll keep talking until I figure out how to shut down the live for the night. Here.